Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the talk/think show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the indigenous one. Media. Media is one of the biggest influences on menticide. The people who control the media can show you anything they want to. Anything. And since the African American, Negro, Black, since you have to remember, most have been watching it. Most. And when I say most, that's the poor people. Because a lot of people didn't have TVs in the 40s. Number one, a lot of people didn't have electricity in the 40s. But they had pictures, movies, posters, postcards of how the indigenous people were supposed to be dealt with because they wanted the indigenous people's land for themselves. They still do to this day. It's just the indigenous people think they're foreigners. And when you ask them to explain that, you can't do it. It's called menticide. If you never heard the term menticide, check out a brother, Chicago, University of Chicago, Dr. Bobby Wright. He coined this term menticide about 40 years ago. And menticide is simply destroying a person or group's mind with the ultimate goal being destruction of that person or group. We should all know that by now. It shouldn't be nobody walking on this planet, that's us, that don't know that. Because this brother put this work out 50 years ago. But when you ask the average Negro, I don't know. You're going to find that a lot with the African American. They don't know because they don't ever want to find out. And when you put your head in the sand, it leaves a lot of room for your ass to be kicked. What's being portrayed as news today is nothing more than modern day birth of a nation. For those of you who remember Birth of a Nation, what the movie Birth of a Nation was about, they just showed characters, Negro characters, the characters you see on all the Negro shows. They showed them being a buffoon. They were white actors in blackface, of course, but they showed trying to depict the indigenous people as just nothing. Kind of like how we're shown on the media today. And a lot of us, it's us doing it. That's the power of the media. Make believe. You make believe that you're somebody else. The African American, that's what their whole life is based around. Right? See, these are conversations that we don't like to have. But the youngsters, they're seeing it. They're seeing it. And a lot of the old heads who's been going with this go along to get along bullshit, dude, your pants are down to the ground. Everything that you've been talking the last 100 years, religion, history, education, it's been garbage. And you refuse to tell the truth to your children so they can get on, at least be on a level playing field with what if you just told them. And the people who did the civil rights bill, they wanted to integrate into other people's lifestyle. They wanted to be what other people asked of them, but play like play like they didn't do that. So tonight, we're going to bring on, of course, like we do all the time, we're going to bring on the Acamac, Miss Lisa. Are you there? Hold up. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, love?
Hey, good to be here. Halito, Aseyo, Kayuk family.
I like
Kayuk to the family.
I like that picture.
Cool, cool, cool. So, thank you. Yeah, I'm so happy you had us here. I guess, yeah, we've had to post up for a minute. People are wondering what this is going to be about. It's going to be about what you think it's going to be about. Hopefully, you think it's going to, but you know what it's going to be about. But
Yeah,
in addition to that, hopefully it's going to be about a little bit more than what you think it's going to be about. How about that?
yeah.
Halito. Halito.
Um, Today's news is our birth of a nation. I uh I opened up with that. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I mean, we got an agenda here. There's an agenda here. Everything about what they do when it pertains to the American Indian, there's an agenda. If you don't understand, you are focused of number one, not just of this country, but of the world. Because everybody eats off your plate, our plate. First of all, everybody ain't an Indian. I'm just speaking to the people that's American Indians. People, a lot of these people think the Indians, they ain't Indians. Let's not get into that. However, the people that are Indians, they're trying to eat off our plates. Not they're not trying to, they are. And it's up to us to stop it in its tracks. The first step is to recognize what's happening. Stop them at the game. Stop them at the gate with the game. Can you show the big pay crimes poster? Are you seeing that?
There you go.
Okay. So, all right. So basically, okay. So this is what's at the crux of the pipeline. Now we got a whole. They had a pipeline to the jail. Now we got a whole train, a whole freaking freight train to jail. Okay, is in the freight train that we're riding on right now, people. It's called hate crimes. We are on a hate crime train right now. And if you don't know it, wake up and realize it. Because hate crimes is going to increase everybody's time. Not only is it going to increase everybody's time, it's going to increase the number of criminals that they can lock up. Just because the person is an Asian, you going to jail. Just because they're Asian, you might. And most of these things, if you see the videotapes of them, if they're real, the ones that might be real, you can't even tell what race the person is. The person have a hood on and a mask, but yet it's an Asian hate crime. How you having a hate crime when the person can't even tell what race the person is? How you having it calling it a hate crime when a person has no history of having any kind of hate or doing anything hateful towards that's race based? They're not part of a hate group. They're not spewing hatred in their communication. Why is it a hate crime? Because they want to put you, Negro, you African American, away for hate crimes. That's the new object. And that's why when I was talking to you, Carrie, this week, I said, hey, I was riding through and I kept riding through these different states, and I kept hearing about jobs for correction officers. What are they fitting to do? Because I know when I hear this kind of shit, when I hear they're doing something in a massive way, or there's an outcry, or they're looking for workers in a big way in a certain area, I know that there's something being planned. So when I hear that they are looking for correction officers in more than one state in a row, I know they're fixing to do something. And that's when, next thing you know, what happened? They use propaganda. They use some propaganda to create a colored villain. That's what they do. Is my next one showing? Or am I stuck? I can't hear nobody. Hello? Hello? Yeah, there we go. And let me see. So basically, that's what they use. They use this propaganda to paint us as a villain. And then hence that's why this program is Birth of a Nation, the birth of a birth of a African American news sensation. That's what this is. We are creating these new sensations of African Americans being villains. It's the same doggone thing as Birth of the Nation. It's the same thing. Everything in this video is fair use. FBI, YouTube, everything's fair use. I'm showing videos, I'm showing pictures, images. It's all fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. We're using it educational purposes. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. The reality is, this is all for propaganda, and we need to stop believing the news. Very simple. Not so simple, but very simple. Stop believing the doggone news. Just stop believing it. We got to stop believing it. Y'all, old dude, the Birth of a Nation dude, he broke down. Can we have a commentary on the brother from the Birth of a Nation? Let's look at him. Can we in the panel discuss this whole thing with the subway situation?
Oh, I mean, so I was talking to the young man earlier, and he was saying he doesn't watch TV, or he doesn't watch that stuff, and I'm like, that's good, because you watching that stuff, and the bullshit they tell you, we should be able to pick this shit. I mean, damn, this dude is so goddamn fat, he can't even wipe his ass.
This dude can't make it through a turnstile.
You know what I'm saying?
How he carry all that stuff through a turnstile? How about the rest of the panel? What y'all got to say? Hello?
Yeah, Kayuk. I didn't really get the details of the story.
Well, this is what happened. This brother, I'm gonna break down the dumb details. Okay, first of all, this dude, his feet hurt, his knees are bad, his back hurt. What anybody with eyeballs can see that from looking at him, okay? His feet are busted, his knees are busted. He can't make it through a turnstile. He couldn't get it, I mean, honey, what? Shit, somebody with a peg leg could catch him, okay? That's what I'm saying. Y'all know what a peg leg is? Somebody with a peg leg could catch this man. Okay, this man had on a fluorescent orange and green vest. He had on a neon green construction hat. He had a backpack. I don't even know how he carried a backpack. Really, I don't even think he could wear a backpack. What he do? Wear it on one shoulder? I don't understand. I think anybody saw him with a backpack would be suspicious anyway. Niggas like this don't carry no backpacks. That's ridiculous. Anyway, he had a backpack, which is absurd. He was carrying a Glock. He left the Glock on the ground. He left the Glock. He left two daggone. Okay, he left two cartridges. He detonated a smoke bomb, a smoke grenade. First of all, where does one purchase a smoke grenade? At Walmart? Where does one get a smoke grenade in New York City? Why would one even purchase a smoke grenade? Why would one just want to create smoke? That sounds like something for a motion picture. It doesn't do anything but make people possibly cough and make it a little harder to see. So why would you even use it? Why would you even find that to be a useful instrument? Is you trying to kill people? You can't see people good if you got a smoke all in the way. So the smoke grenade thing is about drama, it's about showmanship, and it's about how fake this is. It's fake as hell. Not only did he detonate 2 smoke grenades, but he left 2 for them to have samples. I don't even know. And then he also had a hatchet. Why did he have a hatchet? I don't know. Why did he leave all that stuff? Because it don't make sense. Because the longer the story is and the many variables that are in it and the more that don't make sense, that's when you know this whole thing is fake. And that's when our duty is to cry out, this is fake, so they can understand it. We ain't stupid. We see this for what it is. It's stupid and fake. You dumbasses. You're dumb. Who does this kind of thing? Puts this stuff like it's real news.
I mean, when you look at the guy, I mean, come on, y'all. Look at dude. And he's doing an operation like this. And that's part of the term menticide. These people can put these productions up and we just follow it like it's a part of our lives. Yeah, we got to stop believing the news.
We got to stop believing the news. But we also got to make sure they know we don't believe this bull. Okay, first of all, look at the brother that y'all got all this sympathy for. He got a Mason tattooed as big as his whole freaking chest. And he freaking looked like a menace to society. Okay? I would more believe the daggone bombing and the daggone shooting in the subway from him than this one. And I would believe that this one could die from a knee. He could die just from laying on the ground. Shit. He about ready to go. Now, you look at daggone George Floyd, the whole world believed that he couldn't breathe while he was saying, mama, 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 I can't breathe. Baby, if you can talk, you can breathe. Stop the lying. Common sense, people. If y'all don't know, I'm telling you, if you can talk, you can breathe. Don't believe it. He ain't dead. He's not. Look at this sculpture. This is a weird sculpture. Can we get the thing off of there with what's I love you? What's I love you saying? It's a fake.
They
Yeah,
are
government
talking
don't
about
need
it on TV.
Yeah, that's right. I love you.
Channel
But
that
yeah, that's a good comment. I love you, but take it off so you can see this weird white person or semi-white person. I don't know what he is. Got a little nappy look to himself. But anyway, he's sitting up there hugging up on his statue. I want y'all to see that because it's creepy as I don't know what. It's creepy.
Do you just have a picture of that? Because there's some words or something right there blocking.
I got it out the way.
Okay.
Y'all see that? You see how weird that is? What is that about? So everybody feels so bad. Oh, look at that poor boy. It was okay. This was a ritual, just like the Will Smith slap. It was a ritual production. Understand it when you see it. Don't believe it. It ain't real. Unless you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can testify that this is the real shit. It ain't real. It ain't real. Look at what this knee thing did. Look at his neck. He can't die this way. Okay, if you look at this knee to the neck on my next slide, that knee to the knee death ritual exhibit is it, are they able to see that? Because I'm looking at it, but I don't see it on the screen yet. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are they able to see the knee to the death ritual exhibit? Because I changed slides.
No, the slide didn't change.
Well, do I have control of that or do you?
You
I don't
do.
know. Well, I changed slides. I don't know why it ain't changing. Let me see.
There you go.
No, that's all right. I still don't see it there.
Can you kill the noise in the background?
Let me see. Okay. All right. So Anyway, so we're looking at the knee to the neck, and the knee to the neck is the same thing as the Colin Kaepernick kneeling, right? Why these daggone globalists was very upset. These perverted, greedy globalists were very upset about this slightly melanated brother Colin Kaepernick making all these folks feel some kind of way about what's going on in our community and taking a knee, right? So this whole death ritual, this fake death ritual was to show you, I'll take a knee, all right. I'll take a knee to your neck, nigga. That's what it really is. And then look at the look on his face. It don't even look right. Because he's looking like he's just sitting up there doing some gardening. It's not congruent. It doesn't make sense. The way these faces look don't even make no sense.
And if
him being able to call out to his mama, him being able to talk, this guy looking like he's just sitting up there with he got his hands in his pocket. He ain't even bracing himself.
And if you trying to take your last breath, you're gonna be moving.
And he's strong. He's a big dude. You mean to tell me this little lightweight damn cop is gonna be able to daggone hold you so you can't do nothing? You can't turn over at all? Give me a break. Give me a break. None of it made sense to me. Not for 1 second did any of this make sense. I never watched and saw anything that made me believe this was real.
So these rituals, what are they part of the? So I talked about menticide before we started, destroying a person or group's mind with the ultimate goal of destroying that person or group.
Well, it is menticide because this is a big. It's also it's demonic, ritualistic, but it's also menticide because the menticide is this: we could kill you with our knee. You ain't shit, nigga. We could put our knee on your neck and you gonna die. They got tons of pictures on the internet of white boys with getting kneed down the same way and they ain't dead. Okay, this knee restraint is used often, evidently, and people do not die. They got plenty of pictures of it because they think you Negroes are dumb as fuck. They think you're dumb to believe this shit, and they got all kinds of pictures of this shit. So right in your face while you sitting there talking about, oh, George Floyd, they got all these pictures of white boys with their heads in this same position. Like it ain't nothing. So when are we gonna start coming out of this fog of ignorance? When are we gonna wake up out of this? Where they can just manipulate our minds any way you want. Men aside. And you know what? Side means you're destroying. So they're destroying your mind. They're not just controlling your mind, they're destroying your mind with this. They're destroying your mind.
They damn near got it in every blink on their media.
We got pictures all over every community of this daggone Joker, okay? They didn't do that with Trayvon Martin, that cute little boy. Nobody cared about him. We ain't got his cute little face in a hood all over the place, but we got this ugly menace all over the place, and he's all over the place. He walking around every day. We probably got plastic surgery and damn hair implants, and he's there going all around just doing his damn thing. Probably the only way you could identify him is his scar from his tattoo, unless he still got that tattoo like an idiot.
Yeah, man, it's highly embarrassing, man, that we not getting this stuff, and it's what's even more so is we letting these outside forces just come and just change the way we think about life.
Right.
Somebody says it's psychops, psychological operations. What you know about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It is psychops. It's just they're putting on these. They're using these actors to act out these dramas to daggone psychologically oppress you and to make you feel a certain way. All the other thing that they can do is not just the benefits, not just a psychological oppression or to make you feel certain. It's that they actually can institute laws to control us and to they're going to change the way we live. They could change our rights, and they can throw us in jail behind a lot of these daggone things that they are faking that exist. Oh, we need more gun. Okay, the Empress was saying, or the chiefess, little chiefess was saying that that New York was about to institute some gun laws is going to make it freed up some gun use in New York. What did you say, chiefess, about that?
Yeah, they were thinking about changing the legislation towards the restrictive gun laws in New York. And this happened around the same time that they were like thinking about changing legislation of just the restrictions of gun use in New York in general.
Right. So what do? They got a guy who daggon's got a Glock, shoots at certain people. Nobody dies per se that I'm aware of, but yet he leaves his gun there. He got clips there, all this stuff. So now they're gonna be justified. Oh no, we gotta be strict on guns, And so you all, and who's gonna be main ones who's gonna go to the voting booths and be like, oh no, down on guns. The old Negroes. The old Negroes gonna be the main ones. It's gonna be like, oh no, can't have no guns.
Right.
Not that I'm saying New York need to be free-handed with guns. They got enough issues. It's crazy enough over there. However, my whole thing is, this is what they do. But the other thing they do is this guy's on the internet. Okay, let's just roll back to him again a minute. This daggone old brother is on the internet. He got a web channel, and they talked about him saying things on his internet thing. So the thing is, they also they're gonna be cracking down on YouTubers, social media. They already looking to they're going to try to vilify people, but they're going to use this as ammunition and justification. That's all that this is about. It's about being able to take away your rights. These psych ops are not just psych ops. These ops are done to remove your rights. These ops are done to actually create a mechanism to put more of us into the jail for longer. That's what it is. We got to understand it for what it is. That's what it was. That's what's behind it. Changing legislature, and also putting us in jail in higher numbers and keeping us locked away longer. That's what it is. So then they said, oh, they talk about, did it come from Wuhan, a Wuhan lab? Okay. So everybody was saying that. But when they came out with this whole story of it coming from a bat in China or coming from a damn lab in China, that they already was ready to pay out Asians because already they already were saying, well, if you say it's from us, what if people hate us? Well, niggas don't hate nobody. Really, we're not a hate people. That's not our nature. Okay. Real Indians don't hate anyone. We really don't. We get annoyed with people. We don't want them around us, but we don't hate anybody. Okay. So the reality is that wasn't going to happen. And it didn't happen. People didn't go around the street and say, you brought this disease on us. That never happened. People weren't even on the internet saying that. So they had to make up some news, right? Because it really wasn't happening. So they're gonna birth the news that there's COVID hate crimes and against Asian Americans on the rise. They made that stuff up. They got a couple of Asians talking about hashtag hate is a virus. Stop. Nobody is bothering you. We don't even want to look at you. We're not worried about you. What are you talking about? Just give us a hair weave and leave us alone. Like, this is just ridiculous. I just want my dad going stir fried rice with shrimp. Why are you talking about a hate crime? We don't hate nobody. We the first ones to go give our money to you. What are you talking about? This is insane. This is insane. And then we got our daggone celebrity radio people hashtagging this around and acting like it's real. Okay. We got our celebrities co-signing on this bull crap. We got our daggone unofficial leaders making daggone statements like, oh, well, it's a real thing. It's not real. They come in our neighborhoods and they pimp us. They come and use us. They get what we can't have, buildings we can't have, leases we can't have, the right to buy where we can't buy. They get loans that we can't even get. And they
And
use
we
all
still and we
money.
still support them. Why?
Why are we idiots? Can the American Indian get smart? Before we can come together as a coalition of people, we have to be smart. Talk about being on code. Well, just like the FBA say, be on code. You better be on code, Indians. Indians, you better get on code. They are doing this stuff to manipulate us. We got to understand birth of a nation when we see it. Recognize birth of a nation when you see it. This whole thing, stop Asian hate, and and your mama, your daddy, your uncles, your cousins, your friends, your co-workers, you don't know nobody that talks about hate nations, Asians. So where is this coming from? Nowhere. It's
Propaganda.
manufactured by some globalists and co-signed by a bunch of coon elites, Negro, what do they call Boule? Co-signed by Boule and made up by globalists. Look at this. So okay, this is the thing. Okay, we got Thomas in the house. Thomas is a New Yorker, raised New Yorker. I mean, we all know that there's people with schizophrenia and all kinds of stuff rocking around these cities, right? Most of the times when you just got somebody out the blue going off, they off the chain themselves. They crazy. Okay. People have been getting mugged, shot, killed for no damn reason in New York forever. That happens when you got this many people together and that much mental illness on the streets. Now, nobody's mentally ill. Everybody's a hate crime. You can't even see half of these people. Like this person with their headband, then I don't know that they're Asian, that this guy sitting up there. The guy looked like he's definitely cray cray. And he may not even be American. I don't know what he is. But neither is the one, or maybe the one arrested down here. He may not be American. I don't know what these people are. They probably not American Indians. But either way, I don't even know whether these pictures on videotape are even real. Half of this shit looks very fake.
They might be crisis actors.
I think they are.
And the dude with the bald spot, he don't even look American.
He don't look American at all. That's what I was saying. He don't look American.
Like it's giving real crisis actor vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
So it's like Hollywood being spread out all over the place.
Right. And we believe it because it's on the news. Y'all might want to do yourselves a favor and cut all the cable lines and your damn your older people's houses, because they don't need to be watching this. It's ridiculous. Then they go out and they be the main ones voting their own progeny into jail. That's what I'm saying. They be voting their own progeny into their jail.
Yeah, man. It dumb. I mean, and it's only so far we can't keep saying they doing this to us. It's like Lisa say, man, we ain't on code on this stupid shit.
Right.
I mean, anybody come up talking this shit, you should just knock their ass down with a few words, because this shit is ridiculous.
Yes.
And at the same time, this is what I'm hearing. Motherfuckers coming up through Texas. Motherfuckers coming up through the East Coast. Mexico. Us being dumb and not knowing stuff and want to believe and love everybody. We better pay attention to what's going on.
And then you think about Operation Mockingbird, which happened in the 70s, where they spoke with a lot of CIA agents, and they asked how many actual agents have infiltrated Hollywood, and they couldn't give a number. This was in the 70s when this happened. Doesn't mean it stopped though.
All these daggone celebrities are bought out and sold by the globalists. They all in the cahoots with this. And we can't trust these people. We can't let them speak for us. Like I said, even though COVID's over, they still on the urban hip hop, soul, R&B stations, gospel. They trying to push the vax for children. They're not doing that on the rock, pop, or daggone country stations. They're not doing it. Okay, but for your babies, they making you feel guilty like you supposed to vax your child. Wake up, people. Do not believe what they are telling you to do. They don't love you. Can I hear y'all, please? They don't love us. If they telling you it's true, don't believe it. If they telling you what to do, don't listen. Make it make sense.
These
Look
people
at this.
can't. These
Go ahead.
people can't look after. These people can't look after you. These people are not going to look out for your health. These cats are talking about doing transhumanism, a whole lot of all this trans shit. They trying to screw your mind up. And that's what I'm saying. You know, when we're saying dumb and stuff, we're not saying it to try to be shitty or nothing like that. But what else do you call it?
Right.
I mean, damn. I mean, every species looks out for themselves. Every species looks out for themselves. The African Americans just la 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 la. I can do whatever I want. I can do it, dude.
That's right,
dude. Serious? Yeah. And then get pissed off when you call them out on it. That's some demonic shit right there. You wrong. You supposed to be right. Do the right thing. Aren't we supposed to be doing that?
Oh Lord, not do the right thing. Even that movie I still kind of consider problematic because
Niggas can't feed themselves, huh?
and then they killed a big ass nigga in the movie. Like, it's so like
what doesn't that remind you of the George Floyd thing?
exactly,
It's
exactly
all
like it. It's nonsensical in the
right.
same way. And that
Same
could have
way.
been predictive programming for that to happen.
Absolutely. 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 Yes, that's exactly it. And then look at this. It says most of the 8 killed in massage parlor shooting were Asian descent. It's an Asian massage parlor. It says young Asians massage. Why wouldn't it be mostly Asians? What's wrong with them? They're crazy, right? So they're gonna turn it into a hate crime because
It
them
says
damn
young
Asians.
Asians.
It's an Asian massage parlor. Why wouldn't it's not a hate crime when you going in there getting your little thing taken care of? And you know how the women are, they rude. They'll talk about your feet. They certainly talk about your penis being small
And your
or
kids being
weird
ugly.
or being ugly. They'll say whatever because they're snippety. They'll say whatever. And so I can imagine how they might offended that young man and he snapped. This is a prostitution ring. These massage parlors are nothing but legal prostitutes. They let them put up them damn massage places and conduct daggone prostitution in the comfort of a damn salon. But let me try to open up one. See how fast I go to jail. If I put on a paper for I ain't get to massage, they gonna lock me up already before I even get my license. I won't get no license.
You see how they're making it easy for these foreigners. They're making it easy for them.
It's always easy for them. They come in with the daggone map of how to win. They come with papers, instructions, map, and videos of how to win in this US of A.
Exactly.
Look at these rough ass motherfuckers. This is what they look. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello? They know
Left you long time.
these women are doing this stuff. They know that they got these things going on. They know that hate crime with that white boy. That white boy was just trying to go and get his damn rocks off. And then they probably disrespected him. And it had nothing to do with an Asian hate crime. A hate crime has to have a foundation of hate, which means you already have a reputation. You are already recognized as somebody who has already spewed hate, have exercised some kind of activity with a hate group. You've made it very clear that there's no other motivation for what you're doing except pure racism. That was not this.
See, they're trying to propagandize you as close to nothing as they possibly can.
The only reason I knew about the hate crimes was because my older sister, I was telling her about the only reason I know about these so-called hate crimes where all these melanated people are being charged with hate crimes, so-called. It's because my sister was like, oh, these big guys are just beating up little old Asian women all over New York. And I was like, what? Well, she watches the news all the time. So I went and had to look through the internet, and then I found these images and these videos, and I was like, what the heck? They did 3 daggone fake, whatever surveillance videos, and now everybody thinks that a bunch of Negroes want to beat up Asians, and you know that ain't true. I mean, my God. What? Oh, it's 2022. Are we going to allow people just to make up lies about us without a word? Are we just going to swallow this stuff? Are we just going to accept it as a fact and move on from it? And here this daggone this woman's being wrestled to the ground by this daggone Asian. These Asians are ganging up on her in the daggone beauty supply place, and we know there's countless. I can't find them now, but there's countless videos of us being abused, cussed out, treated badly by these people while we spend our money, and then we come back and buy some more.
Menticide. I'm serious. That's what I don't get. And see, that's something we stray away from stray away from that conversation. When we speak, why do we do that? I mean, seriously, if I did it to somebody, they make sure nobody come near me. But these foreigners do it to you, and you just jump in their lap and just lick them all in the ass. What's that?
Right.
What's that?
That's Mauricia Bell. I mean, she got charged. She's probably from the islands. Mauricia Bell. I don't know. She's probably from the islands. She got that island look in her face. But anyway, she was charged with hate crimes, 4 anti-Asian attacks. She's 25 years old. And if you look at it, if you look at her story, she was it was an assault, robbery, grand larceny. She was robbing them. All these robberies, which is probably more just robbery, her trying to get some hair weave or some shit. I don't know what she was stealing, but stealing some hair weave or something, child. And then she ended up with all this being a hate crime. Okay. Attacked 3 women, a 63 to 75-year-old man. These are obviously store owners, and she was stealing. And when she resisted them stopping her from getting out of there with her shit, then it's called a hate crime because she hits them to try to get away. It just, come on, y'all, come on. And we got ain't shit lawyers that's gonna make sure we go to jail. Ain't shit lawyers are gonna make sure she goes down when they know good and well she's just a petty crime. She's just really the only thing she's gonna guilty is a petty crime and then getting violent when she's trying to gonna get away. That's all it is. But yet they're gonna throw the book at her with this. She's not gonna get out of jail. She's not ever getting out of jail. Now the most latest thing, I think this happened just a few days ago. This woman in San Diego is apologizing for her comments against Asians. This school chief, this superintendent of schools. Do we know why Asian students do well in school? Well, and here in San Diego, we have an influx of Asians from China, and the people who are able to make it that are wealthy. You cannot come to America and buy a house for $2 million unless you have money. school chief Cheryl James Ward said, and she had to apologize for that. She had to apologize for that. Why would she apologize for that? Because she observes a fact that these Asians come and buy $2 million houses. You cannot speak truth about Asians either. Why is she not saying, I'm not apologizing? It's true. What is wrong with you? Don't be ridiculous.
You know
what? There is no amount of job, money, or position that she should be sucking that daggone thing up for. Okay? She should not. She should not. It makes her look ridiculous.
Yeah, but most sisters like that though. Most brothers like that. That's niggas like that. That's their job. Their job is to make sure this shit. They don't give a damn about their own family, huh? You in San Diego, and if you've been to California, San Diego probably the whitest city out of every city in California.
Right.
Big city. Right. So I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? Yeah. So
now they're giving the honey, let me tell you something. This is what it is. They're giving the Asian Jew status. They got Jew status. You can't say nothing about them. It's almost like you saying Holocaust. If you say something about Asian, that's how fast they can elevate or take you out in this daggone United States. They got instant elevation for nothing.
This is what I'm saying, guys. We can't be dumb. I mean, because with this media they putting out, I mean, it influences a lot of minds. If they got our minds going one way and they decide to shift us over here, watch out for that. Because what they're trying to do, that transhumanism, all that bullshit that they doing, getting everybody to, what everybody does was what they see on TV.
Right.
Them controlling you like that. I mean, you talk about slavery. Is this what a person does or says? You repeat it. Mm-hmm. Don't hand that shit off to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else, right? And they also do these things to take your energy. To grab when you grab your attention and put your belief in the lie, you give these people your energy. They into these rituals. I know this kind of is so it's like kind of knocking multiple birds out with one stone, basically, so to speak. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just a bunch of lies. I don't watch TV myself personally.
But the thing about it is that we need to at least keep our eye on it because this is affecting our status in the world. So I mean, although I don't watch TV either, I gotta keep an eye on the news via the internet. You know what I mean? Or even watch. I even need to peruse some of the online the streaming of the news because I'm telling you, they are doing things that are impacting us. They're trying to, because this is the thing. This whole thing with this daggone subway thing is going to impact social media. It's going to impact daggone gun situations. But the main thing it's going to do is going to make old black men look real dangerous.
Right. You know what?
With bad knees.
I can't take it. I can't think it's so stupid. Anyway,
you know what? I think you're right. I think they might be trying to beef up the police.
They're gonna they want to, baby. Do you know how many brothers are out here? I don't know how it's going in New York, but we got a lot of young men in the world. There's a lot of young men. They don't have a lot of young men. We got a lot of young men, and they don't want to see them be free. They trying to make mechanisms to get us all into jail. Okay, they're trying to find minor infractions that they can use to get us. Okay, and now it's just anytime you deal with an Asian, it's hate. Well, you know what? They just need to get the hell out of our neighborhoods. Then what we need to do is boycott their stuff. We need to not use their stuff. We need to stop going to their stores. We need to
I
stop
sure
eating at
don't.
their restaurants. We need to start putting up signs and trying to get people to feel pressure not to go in there. Because you know what? Let's lock them out of business so they can't afford to have $2 million houses on our daggone asses.
Okay, I have a
Boycott
question.
them.
I have a question. Okay, how would you say that's done? Because I think it should just be done. Walk up to them and say, "Damn, dude, stop supporting these cats. They don't
All
support."
you
You
got to
know,
do is go to the dollar store, get a cardboard sign that your kid uses from school, get yourself a damn folding chair that you already got in your house or in your trunk, and go sit out there and say, stop spending our money here. They don't support us. Don't support them. Just put out a sign. You ain't got shit to do. You sit up there and you be looking at your phone, looking at TikTok anyway. Look at TikTok and hold a sign. Sit out there and hold a sign. These people are ridiculous. They should not have our money. And you know what? There's gonna be conscious people that are gonna say, yeah, maybe I won't go here. Maybe I'll take my ass to Walmart and buy me some daggone hair grease. Or maybe I'll daggone order my daggone hair weave online from Amazon or some shit. Or from that black person or that daggone Indian person or that daggone whatever melanated person that I saw on Facebook. They'll think of another way to get their product because there's a lot of us that are selling hair products that are far superior online. You don't have to go to these daggone Asian stores. You don't have to go there. It's a trap. And don't go in there. Don't give them their money. When we see their doors closed down, like the drugstores that became daggone Dollar Trees, then we can be satisfied. But don't go to their restaurants. Don't eat their nasty damn rice. Make your own rice. It'll be healthier. You can use the big shrimps and mini shrimps that you want to. Shrimps are cheap at Walmart. But if you eat the shrimp at Walmart, please rinse it. Rinse it like 10 times. That stuff is full of chemicals. So if you buy any frozen shrimp, you gotta soak that stuff. You gotta rinse it 10 times. Rinse, drain. I'm soak it and drain it. Soak it and drain it 10 times. Then get all them chemicals off of it. But anyway, yeah, just make your own fried rice. Stop being so daggone lazy. Anyway, yeah, we need to boycott. Just stop it. Just stop giving them money so they can't be sitting up there acting like they can hate us and take our money. And if we dare going even complain about them ripping us off or not or overcharging us or not taking a return for something we didn't use and we get mad, it doesn't turn into a hate crime. Anything could turn into a hate crime. They always got our own people as security against us. They always are watching as if we're doing something we're not. And then if we get angry, I guess that's a hate crime because we're mad because they're watching us. It's a setup, y'all. Don't give them that access to our lives. Look at this crap. NBC is NBC. Is black on Asian violence a hate crime or just acting black? Oh, so now we ignorance is just us being black or people being black is that's just ignorant. That equates ignorance and hostility. Is that what they're saying? Acting black equates violence, ignorance, and hostility. Look at this Steve Saylor. Who the hell, Steve Saylor? And look, y'all, you can respond on this. He's on Twitter, he's on Facebook, he's on all this shit. He got an email address. You can email him and say something to his sorry ass. This was last year though, so you will look a little weird because it was last year. But I'm just saying,
how would you look a little weird?
well, you're gonna have to qualify what you're talking about. Like I said, because it's not a recent article. He's gonna be like, "What's she talking about? I ain't writing no story about that this month about nothing like that." So you're gonna have to say your story that you posted in 2000, February 26, 2021 is some bull crap, and how dare you post something like this? It's ridiculous. And also, but we got somebody else to be mad at. Robberies and assaults in Chinatown have led to they've been being robbed and assaulted. Why? Because they're in our neighborhoods. Where do you steal? In your own neighborhood. Stop being crazy, you dummies. Okay, if you weren't so greedy trying to get the money out, extract money from us in our own neighborhoods, you wouldn't be subjected to robbery. You wouldn't be subjected to robbery, people, if you didn't come into the daggone bosom of our neighborhood and want to take money away. Then you got Michael Eric Dyson, who I used to like, but he's a coon. And he says, oh, that when cases aren't determined to be hate crimes, we want to be a bit reserved to make certain we're not necessarily inflaming tensions and undue hostilities. Yes, he's a race and religion scholar at Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. What kind of crap is that? Regardless, Asian Americans have every right to their fear and anger at this time, he said. Michael Eric Dyson. Why do they have right to fear? Because these are not hate crimes. Niggas are not online in their families at the dinner table, on a bus, talking about I have to hate some motherfucking Asians. I'm about to smack some motherfucking Asians. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. Let's scream it to the world. Nobody is saying that. In the so-called African-American community, nobody is saying they hate Asians. It's a blatant lie. If we rob them and inadvertently smack them around, it's because we're robbing them. That's what robbery is.
Get the
Mugging
fuck out the
involves,
way, bitch.
it's like, get your hands off me. I'm taking this. Forget you. It's not a hate crime. That's not the same. Were Bonnie and Clyde hate crimers? No, that's not. That's a robbery. Did they shoot people? Yeah. Did they hate people that had money in the bank? Were they bank people haters? No, they were robbers. Let's make things make sense, people. Can't stand this. People are stupid. Okay, let's open this dumb thing up. Why am I playing this? Why, I'm not really sure, but I'm still gonna do it.
But what I got to ask is, where are any pictures, any beat up Asians?
Any beat up? Yeah, they did. There are pictures of beat up Asians. Actually, there are.
Oh well,
There are.
but
They
yeah,
got. There's one with a face mask on and a bloody nose.
yeah, all hoax.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, put the volume up.
I don't know. You can count us loud.
Thanks for joining
You
us.
got it.
We hear it.
Cult leader shared videos of his crimes online. I'm Lori Wilson.
And I'm George Estevez. DeKalb County Police raided a home after a 3-week investigation. Channel 2 Action News was there as officers took Eligio Bishop into custody. Channel 2's Dave Huddleston live now at DeKalb Police Headquarters. And Dave, Bishop's supporters say, look, the group believes in nudity, they believe in nature, and that he's done nothing wrong.
But he's being held behind bars with no bond. It was on March 30th that DeKalb Police got that tip, and we were right there, as you said, George, as the Special Victims Unit raided that home. Channel 2 Action News was right there when dozens of DeKalb officers descended on this brick home in a Decatur cul-de-sac Wednesday night. We saw dozens of officers, detectives, and a tactical team swarm the home on Arbor Chase. Several people were led away in handcuffs and put into squad cars. A nearby neighbor told us this man, Eligio Bishop, runs an online cult called Carbon Nation.
He controls them and do what he says, but like I said, lately it's been turned into abuse from what the neighbors been complaining about from what I hear.
Police would only tell us that Bishop was taken to the DeKalb County Jail on charges of rape, false imprisonment, and sharing sexually explicit content on social media. He's being held without bond. We went by the home Thursday afternoon, and several people who say they are Bishop's disciples came out and talked with me.
Basically, the police raided us on false allegations.
Musa says Bishop is their God And as a group, they believe in nature, nudity, and kindness. He says those criminal accusations are from a disgruntled former member of the Carbon Nation family.
She's always free to leave. She's saying that she was here on false imprisonment when we have live documentation of us saying, hey, if you want to leave, you can leave. Nobody's forced to stay here.
And Musa said live documentation because Bishop and Carbon Nation shares their beliefs and teachings on social media. Now, we're still working to find out when he will face a judge for these very serious allegations. Reporting live from DeKalb County, Dave Huddleston, Channel 2 Action News.
So we want to tell you what else we former model, stripper, and barber. He has ties to Atlanta dating back to at least 2009. But around 2016, Bishop and his followers moved to Central America. First Honduras and then Costa Rica, which they were forced to leave in 2017. In 2020, reports show Bishop was arrested in Hawaii for breaking COVID quarantine rules. It's not clear when he returned to Atlanta. So here's another look at the home now, at the center of what we're talking about, that raid, and Bishop supporters will stay on this and bring you any new developments right here in this newscast.
Now to a developing story. Police are searching for the person who shot a man.
Okay, so
Let's get to it.
let's get to it. Let's talk on that. That's a lot.
Hey guys, check this out. If you own a home and you don't...
Yeah, so
I'm
let's
like
get to it.
appalled that he's so close. Like he is in DeKalb County doing that stupid shit. And I've heard about Nature Boy, but I've never like knew that he was in Atlanta ever. But I knew that he was a woke, a hotep, out of control sex worker. I think he's like, what is his? I think he's from New York. His family, I think he's Dominican and Puerto, some shit. He's like a mix, whatever. But he also has a lot of STIs. He also has a lot of pedo stuff going on, and he admitted it. And he has a lot of like diseases. And I think him and Young Pharaoh, they were a part of Side Netter Studios before doing their own thing, you know. But these hoteps, they've been for a minute, and it's usually the same route. It's like, oh, I got all this information. Oh, polygamy. I'm so woke. Oh, I'm getting money. And then they just kind of collapse and everything goes to shit. It's the same cycle every time. It's the wokeness, polygamy, and then they get raided. And the crazy thing is the Nuwabians, they were, I think, in Georgia too and had got raided a couple of years prior. So I don't know why he thought coming back here would help him in his cult. I think that's just like I looked on there was a TikTok I found about it, and it showed all his charges. Rape, transmission of sexual explicit material, false imprisonment. So yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. They're first of all these people are trying to like sport feathers. They're trying to, you know, they're trying to, they're trying to recreate themselves into some kind of indigenous thing when they're all just cultish, daggone, weirdos. Okay. But the problem with it is that these people on their social media is like all this is adding up to, again, they're looking for criminals via social media. They're finding these people that are really doing dumb shit. I don't know what kind of dumb stuff they're doing. I don't really know, because they got these daggone globalists that are having real sex with real children, kidnapping children, growing children for the purposes of their deranged sacrificial ceremonies. They are having bestiality is legal all over the world. All of them are screwing their dogs. So I mean, nobody's talking about the weird shit that these people are doing, and they're running the government and running all these corporations. So these people are doing disgustingly weird shit. Okay. So, but why this damn immigrant got to be put with his brown face on the news is to what is it supposed to do? Because they know that the engine, how the engine is. The American Indian gets ashamed. The American Indian feels some kind of way. So they take on the shame for anybody that looks like them. Why we do that, I don't know. I don't, but that's the historical behavior of our elders. They have feel the shame when something is put on the news on Front Street about somebody doing something that's dastardly and they look like us. I don't give a daggone. I can tell when somebody's us and they're not. And I don't get ashamed anyway. So basically, because I know these daggone globalists are disgusting. These greedy ass globalists, European white Caucasoids are disgusting. So I'm not even I don't get ashamed. I'm not getting ashamed of what he does or this dumb cult thing. And there's worse things that they done. What Carrie can tell you. What about the daggone the whole what you call it? The whole what was that organization called? The Moon People or whatever they were. The daggone people that they killed all those people in South America.
The
Jonestown thing. Okay, so he kills all these people, and that was oops, he killed a bunch of Negroes. But this guy, all he's got people doing is making weird little symbols on their eyes and dressing weird.
I mean, yeah, but the transmission of HIV isn't great, and herpes isn't that great either. So that's a whole other thing. And then he's
That's
kind of
all an allegation, but I don't care if I say the transmission isn't great, but this is the thing. All this stuff is like, who freaking cares? If you so dumb you have an unprotected sex, bitch, you're gonna get the herpes.
they've
Okay?
been
You're
like the
gonna
thing
get
about it is
pregnant.
they
You're
been
gonna
knew
get a
about
disease.
that, but
When do we have to be
the
responsible for
majority
ourselves?
the majority of people that Gresling Maxwell, who was a friend or whatever of Epstein, right? The majority of her clients were at the Oscars when she got charged. They were at the Oscars while she was getting charged for Epstein's crimes. So when that slap happened, majority of her clients were in attendance at the Oscars, and they have codes like pizza and sauce and whatever, and all of it pertains to little boys or little girls.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
You
heard about
know,
that sauce stuff. Yeah.
so like that's all they do is consume children. They traffic children,
Right.
and a lot of these orphanages and different institutions is a means for them to get these children near them, or they set up deals. So even with
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly, he was at the bottom of what they were doing, the very
Right.
bottom.
Right.
So he was
Right.
easy for him to get attacked because he was at the very bottom, but they're doing way worse shit than what R. Kelly is doing, unfortunately.
Absolutely. That's why I say when I look at this Nature Boy, I say this ain't shit. This ain't shit compared to what they're doing. But see, they put this all in the media, right? All the stuff that they know people are doing, and that they're partaking in themselves as the news people that they are, right? That's all hidden. But they're gonna put this daggone foreigner on Front Street looking like us to make us feel like, oh, see, this is what, and make the look like in the image of us is that we're doing this weird shit and we're daggone bombing daggone subways. That's the global image. When the reality of the globe is that these global leaders are the disgusting people that are doing horrific things that we can't even imagine doing to another being. If we saw it, we would be vomiting in our laps with the stuff that these people are actually engaged in. And they want to make you look like you're a villain, please. And these aren't even you. These people they're using ain't even us. They're fake people. They're actors, crisis actors, and they're daggone media daggone whores. This guy is just a fake damn media damn wannabe, like most of these foreign entities on YouTube. He's a fraud. And the fact that real brothers and sisters follow him, I hope not, but it looks like they do.
Big time.
What you got to say about it, Carrie?
No, I mean what you're saying is right. You know, what gets me about it is how many people are following them. So that's
Right.
why I'm saying when we talking to these kids, we can't be coming with that bullshit. I mean, you look at all these schools, every last one of them is full of shit. And we keep trying to act like they all did something great. That none of them don't do anything.
Right.
Most of them are held harmless bullshit. Like the principal you chose in San Diego.
Right.
See, that's their job. See, when you say boule, what does boule mean? Keeper of the king's secrets.
Mm-hmm.
You keep his secrets. That's what they do. Yeah, this is what they do. So you have to ask yourself, with all the things these Negroes been doing for the past 150 years since Reconstruction, what does it equal? What do you think your grandfather would say if he knew Ukrainians was coming over here moving in his room?
Right. They already been through this. They already lived through the same daggone thing.
But I'm saying, seeing his children go through the same thing, what do you think they would say?
I'm not ready for this. Sorry. I don't know how to stop it. All right, let me just shut that down.
What was that?
That was Nat Turner. Sorry, y'all. Y'all continue. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get my shit started.
Feel like, what we should be focusing on is subscribing to Senate bills, House bills, and state bills being legislated. Aside from that, the news is just going to be psyop to hell every week. And, you know, they have like, and I always said that like Clubhouse and Spaces and all those other ones, they have, I always said that it's kind of like an NSA, CIA agent's wet dream because they get so much information and intel from these clubhouse rooms and people that they could target or whatever the case, you know. And sometimes like I remember before you could report a room and they will take the recording to view what happened. And it's like nobody at the time knew they were recording rooms at that time from the company. So if they're doing that, then who else has access to these audios in Clubhouse at that time?
So shouldn't we have a program on that?
What,
Shouldn't we have
Clubhouse?
a program? No, not with just the clubhouse, but with the whole crackdown on you can't say what you want to say.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I remember this one time I was on Clubhouse and in the chat with the new updates, you can't say the word coon. They will flag it. If you type the word coon in a channel on a chat, they'll flag it. And you can't say the word pedo.
How was that? So what is that doing when you do that? When they do those words like that, what is that saying to the public?
To me, the fact that if something is projecting someone being a pedophile and you can't speak to power that they are doing that, that means they are in a certain pocket of the elite. To me, like if I'm saying, oh, that's a pedophile, and you're saying that's abusive or hurtful words, that is kind of like you're with NAMBLA, the Man Boy Love Association. That's what it sounds like to me when if I type in Clubhouse, that's some pedophile stuff. Oh, that's hurtful words. You don't want to get flagged for
Right.
using this word. And they have this red bar that comes up. And if I say coon, that's a red bar for that. If I say American Indian, that's flagged. But I can type pretendian as a name for a Clubhouse name, but I can't put Indian, even though a lot of us call each other Indians, which is Indian. So to me, they're already kind of showing where they are standing, and it's not with us. It's to monitor us, it's to police us on in these rooms, because they have specific words that you can't use, but other words are fine. Like I can't say the word coon on a chat, but I can say nigga all day.
Yeah.
I can say variations of the word nigga left and right, to and fro. But coon I can't say. Engine I can't say. Pedo I can't say. It's flagged. And I find that highly suspect.
So how do you think that's controlling the minds of the people? So like we were talking about menticide, destroying a person or group's mind, ultimate goal, destruction of that person or group. How does that factor into that? What you just said about the censorship of words. I mean, because it'll make you do, because some people gonna go right along with it.
Right.
They're gonna agree with what's being said, what's being done. You just saw this pandemic. A lot of Negroes just laid down and went with it.
Yep.
A lot.
They're talking about the pandemic. I think they're trying to cook for another one. I just seen something about 400. They said China had like 400 million locked down for some type of breakout, some other COVID breakout.
Say that again.
Yeah. Today I actually seen footage of them talking about a breakout of 400 million people, and over there somewhere in Asia, I think it was China, of a new COVID strain, or something to that extent. But it was COVID related.
So you see what I'm saying? Oh, so yeah, trying it again.
So I'm thinking, 400 million. Wow. Now they're gonna say those people could be over here, and there's gonna be another lockdown. I could see it already.
Right. So you ready with that, Lisa? Oh no, she's not ready.
And think about this. Like right now, we're at a certain level of debt, and a lot of countries buy our debt. And one of the countries that has a lot of our debt is China. It's China. So I feel like with a lot of this Asian hate and other stuff, and even giving China and giving Asian Americans money for Asian hate, they're trying to take care of them on the back end for buying all their debt, because the Federal Reserve, they keep pushing the money printer further and further, putting it at a higher deficit, more so than it was before. So they're trying to do payouts and move money that really is fiat. And according to the Russians, the Russian ruble is right now currently at a higher value than the US dollar. So let me see. It started to drop, but it's growing. So wait. Right now it dropped, but it was rising. It keeps going back and forth. I have to keep watching it. And right now they're trying to make money go digital, which will mean they can control how you spend your money, what you spend it on, and everything. And they're trying to financially kind of take control of this country. But to me, I feel like guerrilla warfare, psyops, trickery and deception, these books from the CIA and US military, they were developed going against us and warring with us over the centuries, honestly.
Yeah, but as a group of people, as a nation of people, are we just going to go along with it? Because I'm sure not everybody's down with it, but the vast majority, if there's 100 million African Americans, Black, Negroes, colored, what percentage of them are going to go along to get along?
Right.
Most.
More than 50%. They gonna do what they will march to the gallows. And with that, that's a nation of people. That's a nation of people. And we won't even stand up and say nothing. We will go with the narrative. Like everything she's showing you with this today, like she was saying. Her sister said, these big Black men beating up. Huh? I mean, you can't see through this and how people just follow stupid shit. I mean, stupid shit. So that's the problem of not telling the truth, the kids to the truth, getting them into all of this bullshit, giving them toys and all this dumb shit that does nothing to prepare them what they're going to face in the world. And that's on us. We can't keep saying these people doing this and this and this, but we right there jumping up and down, clapping. Let's go. We look like damn fools. That's why they mock us. That's why they mock us with that George Floyd stuff. They tell you these niggas dumb.
And that nigga a crisis actor too, and he used to be a porn star, so whatever.
Right. And so, come on. Any mama will tell her daughter, do not be out there acting like a hoe, because you'll get treated like one. Any mama will tell a daughter that. If that's what you want to do, knock yourself out, boo.
Or you gonna end up like these rappers. 1 minute they normal, next minute they're all gay.
Man,
that's a whole nother episode, right? That is a whole nother show right there. That is a real thing that happens in those industries, that's an actual thing. So like the whoredom and everything, like you really have to be down for it. And they pay you, but then all these artists that go along with it, they lose their entire wealth, everything they built. It goes back to the corporation that they work for and not to the family.
Well, I mean, but that's how it is. That's how it always is. But I mean, we haven't, between Sam Cooke and now, we haven't caught on yet. That's what I'm saying. Damn. I mean, you would think let's take movies, Asian movies, the old Asian movies, the Westerns, how the Asian was portrayed. From that time to now, they've overtaken Hollywood in their productions. And when you say, well, what strides have we made? We ain't nothing. But we try to pretend like we have made some strides. That's confusing to the youth.
We give out all the juice and energy and everybody else makes money off of it. But we do not hone in and capitalize off of our own stuff. We sell it off, give it away freely while everybody else gets ahead of us.
So we can't complain if we give it away freely. What we complaining about? We look dumb, and then they mock us. Then we are crying because you shouldn't be mocking us. We're doing dumb shit. I mean, the brother you showed in this Carbonation, dude, you see all the followers he had? Because we ain't telling these kids nothing. We putting cotton on top of the roof to pretend like it's snow, putting cotton all on the grass. and you live in a goddamn desert. This is the shit we do. And try to act like, la, everything is normal. For real? So, I mean, what she said, I mean, yeah, they doing it, but I mean, I bet Negroes spend most on TVs. We want to be programmed. Everything that is garbage will do nothing to enhance your life. Nothing. And yet we act like we can't live without it. So, you know, they've been doing this since what was that, Birth of a Nation? If it works, keep doing it. Oh, okay, Lisa, you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah. Okay. So, I was ready, but then I just did a lot of stuff. Okay. Let me see. Get it right. Here. Okay. Here we go. And boom. And boom.
One was Willie Horton, who murdered a boy in a robbery, stabbing him 19 times. Despite a life sentence, Horton received 10 weekend passes from prison. Horton fled, kidnapped a young couple, stabbing the man and repeatedly raping his girlfriend. Weekend prison passes. Dukakis on crime.
Okay. So, we pretty much can tell Willie Horton was pretty psychotic. I mean, he wasn't, I mean, seriously, he was psychotic. That's not even a, you know, they portray these people like they're our normal Negro that just, you know, we just go around murdering, stabbing people 19 times. He's psychotic. I mean, he's a psychotic bruh, you know, really. Like, see, this is the thing. So, but this is what they do. And it's really crazy because there's very few examples of this behavior, right? That they have to take these people and blow them up into living color because they got multiple mass murderers, things they don't even talk about, all kinds of scandalous things they doing. They white Caucasian people get away with murder all the time, not the women so much, but the men all the time. Okay, but nobody talks about it. But when we do something, on the rare occasion that we do it, they gotta blow it up, because we don't do it very often. And when we do, it's usually probably someone is very, very sick and psychotic. But, you know, they're going to make it act like it's just the average Negro. Okay. And that's what they do. All right. They're going to make it seem like, you know, that's just the way we roll. This is how we get down. We're just like that. You know, we're just out there, you know, slashing and bashing folks up. That's how we roll. That's how we live, you know, but that's not how we live. Right. And the reality is that, we need to realize that these things are being promoted on intention to create this sense of shame, a shame ritual. Remember, we talked about shame before. It's a shame ritual, but it's also to create fear amongst the daggone other races. And now we have an international world of people who perceive us as being these violent people. You don't want to live in our neighborhoods. You don't want to go to school with us. You don't want to be around us because we beat up Asians and we steal from everybody, and we're just these violent, abusive people. And it's all programming. It's all propaganda. That's what they do. And then our real estate is devalued, our education goes down the tubes because all our bright people leave the neighborhoods. Okay. It's just destruction upon destruction. And we have to do something to stop that. Okay. We can't be in this whole, you know, keep going on this same merry-go-round where we keep doing the same thing over and over again. That was used in Birth of a Nation. That whole you know, he's about to rape a female, you know, that was the fear that was projected in Birth of a Nation. That's why we need to understand they use the same stuff. Willie Horton, Birth of a Nation, all over again. All the pimps, black exploitation movies, the drug dealing movies, all that was to get us to actually imitate the art. They wanted us to be all pimps and drug dealers. So that's what they promoted. They had our boule move out of the neighborhood. They have our successful people run out of our own neighborhoods. We get more scared of each other than we scared of anybody else. And we got to stop that. We believe it about ourselves, what we don't see in our own families. Don't we understand that we all are a collective of different families? So if you ain't got a bunch of rapists and daggone killers in your family, then the odds are there aren't that many that are like that. Just look to your own examples. Yeah, if there's gonna be crime and you live in a neighborhood of indigenous people, yeah, we're gonna commit crime with those that are closest to us. That's what happens. It's just very much more convenient. You know what's going on. You know who has what. That's just natural. It doesn't mean that we have a bigger problem. Don't believe the hype. Anybody got something to add to that?
And definitely get with the people, around you, especially family members, because, a lot of people say people are starting to wake up. I think the light is shining a little bit brighter for everybody to see. You can't, a lot of us has been doing this for 30, 40 years, and this is one of the first time where I really seen people like, wait a minute, because all the stories that you've been told, all the history, everything you know about government, all that's bullshit. And it's going to be up to you, us, to do this, because nobody else is going to do it. We can sit and give information all day long, but if we're not acting on it, that's on us. I mean, you let people from anywhere come over and pimp you like that, your great-great-grandchildren are going to call you hoes. And I ain't lying. If you keep going the way like this, what will your great-grandchildren say? You got picked off by some Ukrainians? And then when somebody tells you you're getting picked off by Ukrainian, you want to start crying and whining like what they saying is a lie. You want to confuse these kids, then act like, well, I don't know. You confusing these children with all this bullshit you're giving them. They're already being attacked on the mental side by everybody else. Then you come and confuse them, and then y'all follow him and give them money. You niggas doomed.
Okay, now we're going to go back through time because, see, the fact is that we have examples of this whole media, this whole thing is menticide, this whole thing of, us them using propaganda to make us feel a certain way, right? A lot of the people that fought for civil rights, the people that was living in those communities was like, well, we doing good. We got our own grocery store. We got our own daggone, farmers that we get our vegetables and stuff from. We doing okay, just because we can't go in their stores. So who cares? They a bunch of rednecks anyway, So, I mean, a lot of this was propaganda used to daggone create a certain thought because they really wanted to destroy our resources and our sense of community. They wanted to destroy that. And so this whole civil rights movement did not come from people. That's why they had to use the children, because the adults weren't going for it. That's why they picked off the children to get involved in the civil rights movement. And then they want to create a whole fear of the Negro, right? So they had to create a menacing civil rights images, such as the Black Panthers, right? And most of the people that composed of the Black Panthers were a bunch of daggone European, a bunch of daggone foreigners, a bunch of daggone boule. So let's just listen to that for a minute. This is just a trailer. Fair use. Black Panther's vanguard of the revolution. I'm sorry, I got to get the thing off of mute. Sorry about that. Looking at the trailer, 2016, directed by Stanley Nelson, starring Blair Anderson, Omar Barbeau, and Julian Bond. This is fair use, educational purposes. Watching the trailer. Black Panthers.
Black Panthers. Black Panthers. The Black Panther Party. Black Panther movement. The Black Panthers were absolutely unique.
Being black in America meant that you didn't walk down the streets with the same sense of safety and a sense of privilege as a white person. Attack dogs, fire hoses.
Police jump on you, beat you up, put the gun at your head. This is what we were going through on a daily basis.
Stand on the eve of a black revolution, brother.
Now we have voices within the community that we're not going to continue to turn the other cheek.
Second Amendment guarantees the citizen right to bear arms on public property.
We're going to carry our guns and we're going to follow the police. We're going to maintain a legal distance, ready to throw down if necessary.
Anyone who would approve of this kind of demonstration must be out of their mind. These racists, the stop the pigs, have to stop brutalizing our community or we're going to drive them out.
The majority of the rank and file. When we tried to change some of the clear gender roles, women had guns and men cooked breakfast for children. The way we walk and talk and dress, we were a phenomenon.
The Black Panthers really understood the media. They used us to their advantage.
Chairman of the Black Panther Party, and here he is. They tapped the phone. The phone is probably hooked up to the White House.
You read the Black Panther Party newspaper?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because I'm black and I'm proud.
The FBI wanted to destroy the Panthers.
How about justice? Justice is incidental to law and order.
This was all out attack.
That damn Negro, J. Edgar Hoover.
Raided, bombed, shot, mass arrest. They were coming to kill us.
When the 15-minute gun battle was over, 2 Black Panthers were dead.
This was obviously a political assassination.
It was like a slaughterhouse.
We were doing fundraisers at places like Jane Fonda's townhouse so that we could raise money for the legal defense fund.
There were 156 not guilty verdicts. It's astonishing.
We don't hate nobody because of their color. We hate oppression.
We refer to ourselves as the vanguard. We wanted the entire community to follow.
I feel free. I feel absolutely free. You understand? That's what I feel.
He felt absolutely free. That's what he felt. Absolutely free.
Okay, so my view on the Black Panthers.
Yep.
That's the biggest CIA setup I ever seen, and I still believe to this day that we just fall for it. The cameras are filming it for you. It's a joke. It's what like she's showing. It's the propaganda. I mean, like she said, the children were the one getting killed.
Yep.
Who sends their children out to be killed?
Mm-hmm.
Who does that?
Mm-hmm.
And we just go with it. La, la, la. Well, Fred Hampton was cute. You say dumb shit that don't make no sense. None of that shit makes no sense. How are you in the Black Panthers and the third in charge is an Asian dude responsible for educating your children and procuring weapons? Explain that. So when you ask these Black Panthers to explain it, they won't. Watch what these cats do. They're trying to get rid of you. They've been trying for a minute. And they're being successful.
I'm looking at a last missing
So check out the previous topic.
Let's look at let's also look at the Atlanta child murders. I forgot that I wanted to talk about that. The fact that they made this man into a monster made us believe that also put a sense of distrust within our community where we felt like a man like us. First of all, let me tell you something about our children. Our children ain't gonna go with no corny dude. They're not gonna go and let no corny dude take them anywhere. Just like those Africans who try to kidnap them kids in the neighborhood, they don't go with anybody. Now, a police officer, because we were taught to respect the police officer in school, mind you, that the kids would go to a police officer. But a white corny, but a white corny dude, or any kind of white dude, or any kind of daggone corny or weird colored man is not gonna have no kids coming to him like he's a Pied Piper. It ain't gonna happen. Our kids are not that stupid.
Lost Children. Episode 5, I don't know what it is. Episode 5, part 5, I guess it is. I'm not really sure. Why is it 5 or 5? Maybe it's the 5th episode. I don't know. Anyway, this one's 5, part 5. We're just going to see a clip of it for educational purposes, fair use. So HBO, Atlanta's Missing and Murdered, The Lost Children, 5.5. Watch it. Watch it in its full entirety. This is just a clip for educational purposes.
Almost overnight, 23 cases are boxed up, and it's like Wayne did that. Once Atlanta was provided an out, they took it.
There were so many things that just pointed directly at Wayne Williams.
It was all fake mad, and they presented it to the jury as hard fact. Almost every key witness against Wayne Williams committed perjury or gave misleading testimony.
How do you defend against what we did not know?
Some of these children should not have been attributed to Wayne Williams.
The person identified who police had a scar down his face.
The investigators think that there was at least one other killer.
So, anyway, so with that thing, Wayne Williams, we have to understand that they do these things. Of course, that also was a shaming thing. We felt extreme shame about, oh my God, he's one of us. I can tell you, it was devastating. But it also didn't feel believable. It didn't seem anything like a child of our children would be able to even be convinced by someone of his energy, stature. What? Huh? What's what? Hello? Anyway, that one of our children would ever be convinced by a someone like Wayne Williams. And
What's that noise? It's all slow-mo.
I don't know. You hear something? Anyway, so but yeah, it's unlikely that would ever really happen. But that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that this stuff is actually real, that these people would actually be able to do this. This one man did all of those killings, and he's the one. But that's the thing. We gotta start calling these things out. We have the power to change and change our own history. We have the power.
Whose eye is that? It sounds real slowed down.
We have the power to change our own perspective, our own agenda. They don't control this. If we don't speak to it, if we don't speak up about what we're seeing, what we do believe, what we don't believe, then they do have the power. But if we give them the ability to just put these stories out unchecked, that gives them the last say. We should never let these lies have the last say of our daggone stories. We need to speak up about what is believable, what they're putting out, what we don't believe, and what we have opposition to. We need to show our opposition because these people just, hey Zena, these people just expect us to swallow this whole thing, and then when we don't say anything, it's giving our consent. It's giving our consent. Exactly. These people have never been selected. But see, they always are putting these so-called spokespeople in our place, whether it's Tariq Nasheed, or whether it's Dr. whatever, whoever doctor they want to push in front of us at the moment. That's what they do. And it's just ridiculous. And we need to start saying, no, this doesn't represent our story. This doesn't represent our experience. We need to start speaking up about all of that because it's not acceptable.
Fair use is fair use is Emancipation Road for educational purposes.
I don't want that. It's too soon, I think. I want to talk about the fact that we can even go. No, not yet. Okay. Continue. That even we can go during the 1930s and 40s. This whole so-called Black migration, which is in no way, shape, or manner did we have a Black migration. It was a exodus. It was an exodus just like any other exodus. That's what we had in the 1930s and the 1950s and 60s, the mass exodus to these cities. Why are we in these cities? Well, because we were terrorized. That's why. Look at this story. I was trying to look at what happened on the Eastern Shore because if people don't know, you should know that the most of this panel, including Carrie, has a lineage from the Eastern Shore, Virginia. We are Accomack Indians, and being Accomack Indians, I wanted to see. I know we had a migration in the early 1900s, 1950s, 1940s, and also in the 1900s. But I wanted to know why. And this is one flight out of the Eastern Shore. In 1907, that is even before Birth of a Nation came out. 50 families were ordered to leave Anoncock, Virginia, which is right on the Eastern Shore. These people had notes attached to their doors telling them to leave. Okay. And bricks thrown into their windows and stuff. So, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, they had mobs and everything that were organized and people were being threatened. Okay. So, I mean, the whole flight, the whole flooding of towns, burning of towns, these things were systematic. People just didn't just say, oh, I just want to live in the city and leave home. No, they were driven out of home. Okay. They were driven out of their homeland. So that's the thing. I mean, we got to backtrack. In all your little towns and stuff, you could find newspaper articles and things like that that actually lead to why your people went to Chicago or went to California or went to daggone, Detroit or went to daggone New York or went to, Philadelphia. These migrations have a track that can be actually looked at, and it can actually show you what was going on in their lives. Here's another story. History of lynches on Maryland's Eastern Shore. Okay. They went back and started looking at that in this article in 2015. Okay. So they're talking about in 1931, a mob yelling, lynch him, get him. Matthew Williams, a 23-year-old white man, a black male. It's a boy. Think about 23 years old today. Golly. He lived in the Negro ward of Salisbury, Maryland. This thing took place near UMES University, which my sister went to, right? My sister Sharon went there, okay? It's still a predominantly indigenous town. And this daggone lynching was not far from the university, okay? This guy got into a argument with his boss. his employer. And I guess they started just shooting at each other because he got shot in 2 places and so did his boss. And it doesn't say his boss was killed, but what they did to him, it wasn't right. Okay. They actually went to the jailhouse, a mob, threw him out the window, stabbed him with an ice pick, dragged him 3 blocks behind a truck. They dragged him to the lawn of the courthouse and burnt him. Okay? This ain't no joke. Okay? These things are the kind of things that's why we have a silent generation that didn't say anything. Because these kind of things happen and people moved out and shut down. Okay? And that's the thing. We got to be aware that these things are behind some of the reasoning that our families have moved where they have moved. It was an exodus. It was terrorism. They didn't move people like cattle to the cities. No, they didn't move us. It was an exodus. It was terrorism. Nobody said, make you go, Negro, go to the city. No, it was like, we need to get the hell out of here because they burning our stuff down. They're going terrorizing us, and we need to move on. We just gonna get out of there. We can't work here. We can't have our businesses here. They are terrorizing us. It was an exodus, a mass exodus. No migration, no moving us. It was an exodus. So with that being the case, let's look at the thing. This young guy. I don't know where my thing went. Where's my slide? I thought I had. Yeah, there I did. Okay, Matthew Williams. I guess they put some little cheap board up about him, which is really weird because it's like it's on a piece of cardboard. Some tax. We can't have anything better for poor Matthew Williams, a piece of cardboard. I don't even know. Anyway, somebody was maybe they're trying to get some money together to get something real. But it's a doggone shame. This is the kind of stuff that has changed our world, and it's not just this story. This is just one story that made it to the paper. There's so many other things. Lynching, is still daggone, they don't even want to pass they didn't even want to pass the no lynching thing. Okay. So, it's legal to lynch a Negro, but you're going to give special money to Asians and stop hate crime against Asians that nobody hates? That's the thing y'all need to be thinking about. You want to daggone legislate that hating the Asian is illegal, but it's okay to lynch. You want to legislate that you give money to Asians because you make them believe that somebody hates them, but you don't want to give nothing to us, and you've been trying to murder us continuously. That's the thing that we need to focus on here. We need to focus on that. We need to understand that they are continuously trying to murder and destroy you, remove you from the planet. And they don't want to do anything for you. Yet they are constantly making you pay. You are paying these foreigners this money for them coming here and being, they got a whole home to go to. Do you know everybody who we are supposed to be treating so badly, they have another place they can be. They don't have to be here. They choose to be here. Yet we have to pay our money to them because somebody wants to make up a lie that we hate them. We have to pay them because somebody made up a lie that said we hate them. Now, ain't that something? Ain't that something? We need to be very, very aware of what is happening. And we need to be very, very aware of why this propaganda exists. They make up this propaganda all the time to control us, to make us feel less than, to make us feel like we are put upon, We're out of control to make us feel to make it appear that we are the villains of the planet when we are the caregivers and the saviors of this planet.
And mustn't we forget, and this is where it gets a little sticky because we play into this stuff. We're used to propagate this stuff. If you listen to any radio Negro station in the morning on the radio on your way to work, you know what I mean. I mean, the total disrespect, the total lack of intelligence that they show on there should have everybody listening pissed. That shouldn't even be listened to. And we just think it's funny, giggle, hee hee. And like she was saying earlier, they advertising for cops to lock you up. And this is being shown to us. And since our minds have been so manipulated, we just go on with it. We act like we can't do nothing. Don't leave your children in that position.
They create these images so that they can justify locking up your children. You may be gone, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. This is a setup. All these things we're seeing are setups so that when you're gone, they're justified and just putting everybody in jail just for what you say, for what you don't say, what you think, because it's not even what people are saying. These people are psychotic people. These people are just committing random crimes. They're not committing hate crimes. But because they are calling it a hate crime in the media, which is only the media, they are already being charged with a hate crime before they even get to the court. They are already being accused of a hate crime before they get a fair trial. They're already being accused of a hate crime, and there's no hate behind it. There may be psychosis behind it. There may be theft behind it, but it's not hate. But the media turns it into it. And therefore, you got a daggone sentence that's 10 times as bad. 10 times as bad. It's a problem.
It's King Kong on the Empire State Building.
Right.
That's all it is.
It's the same thing because that's what they want you to be all the time. And we got plenty of boys out there, and they want all these boys to be in that image. Either they want them gay and weak, or King Kong and monsters. That's what the future. That's the future they want for your daggone grandsons, your sons out there. They're either King Kong or they're fairies. King Kongs or fairies. One or the other. You pick. You pick. Because you know what? You're not taking control of it. So now all you got is left is to just pick. You're not trying to change the narrative. You're not bucking it. You're not contesting it. You're chatting against it, tweeting against it. You're not putting out any comments against it. You're commenting against each other. You ain't shit. You ain't that, fighting each other on the damn social media when you need to be fighting these people in the media. They're putting out this fake information and these lies about us as a whole people so they can legislate against us, so they can create laws against what we say, and laws against us having freedom of speech, and laws against us having the freedom to defend ourselves. And they make us into criminals that we are not. Understand what's happening here. Understand that we've gone through time. We started with the subway, right? We went to the subway. We went to daggone the whole the whole jab and the daggone and the daggone Asian laws that came behind the jab. We also talked about daggone the whole fake George Floyd murder, that sacrificial ritual daggone psychops that they put out there for us to feel some kind of way to manipulate us. That, okay.
Yeah,
All
and they
these things.
murdered before that. They even murdered Kobe, and then after that, all stupid shit broke loose,
Well, they
and
murdered
everybody
Kobe.
was in their feelings about Kobe for
They
weeks,
murdered
for
Kobe to shut
months.
down the celebrities. That was to let the celebrities know, motherfuckers, if you think about anything, we'll take your whole damn family out. We don't give a damn. Because if anybody thought about, because a lot of celebrities were kind of wild candies. They would just voice their opinion, daggone, randomly about whatever shit they thought about. Well, they let them know with the Kobe thing. Think again. You daggone celebrities and daggone athletes. If you think you have freedom of speech or freedom of anything, we could take y'all out. We could take you and your kids out. Take your whole friends and family out whenever we want to.
So
that was pre-COVID, right? They did that pre-COVID because that was to shut everybody down that was celebrity or athletes during the COVID. Then nobody really said a thing. And the only one that did say the thing was poor daggone Wendy Williams said she ain't taking no jab. And she said she ain't taking no jab. And they got her locked in her house right now. They got her locked in her house.
Froze her bank accounts.
Froze her bank account, said that child was crazy. That's what they did to her for saying she ain't taking no jab. She did not comply. They had daggone Spike Lee in there pounding his daggone arm saying, hit me right here. Hit me with your best shot. He didn't give a damn.
Big coon energy.
He caved in so hard. He is a terrible little jigaboo. A terrible jigaboo is what he is. Terrible jigaboo. Because for every name they want to ban, we got some new ones. Because that's what we do. We can make up some new ones. We can recycle some old ones. He's a jigaboo. Okay, so
colored spade.
We can bring back the spade. We can bring back the jigaboo. We don't care. Go ahead and make coon illegal. We got some other ones we can use. Okay, whatever. But now at Birth of the Nation, so we went back in time. We went back to the daggone 60s. We had all those political activists using children as sacrifices out there on the front line for a fight that the common man was not even in. They didn't care about being mixed in with these white people. The white people wanted to take our shit. They wanted to take away our unity. That's why they wanted us to integrate. It was a trick. Yeah, the rednecks didn't want us to be around their shit, but we didn't want to be around the rednecks either. Our schools were educating us well. They were giving us pride. They didn't like that shit. We were excelling, and our money wasn't being circulated with their money. And our money was better than their money. We were making more money.
That part.
They wanted to stop that. Understand, civil rights was not about civil rights. It was wrong. It was about breaking us up as a family.
Taking over your economic base.
Taking away your daggone unity.
Putting you in project housing.
Oppressing you when you were actually free.
Yeah, taking Indian land, actually, that's what they really was doing, and moving you out your ancestors' territory, basically.
Absolutely. Marches. The marches didn't change a damn thing. That was just drama. The thing that changes anything is boycotting. Okay? Marching for bullshit. The thing
Them
that
boycotts
changes
had them down bad.
Boycott. That's why you need to boycott all Asian business. Boycott it. Don't go. Okay? They victims. They getting checks for being victims. Then they don't need our money in our neighborhoods. Don't go to their supermarkets. Don't go to their damn restaurants, and don't eat their fried wings. Just resist. I know you'd like the fried wings. I know you like the shrimp fried rice. Let it go. You can make your own.
After all, they do boycott you, don't they?
They don't spend not a dime on you or with you. They don't contribute to your daggone economics. They don't donate to your schools to make sure that they're better or equal. They don't create a community center in your neighborhood because, oh, we've been in your neighborhood for 40 years. Let's create a daggone gym so your kids have a place to exercise, run around, swim, and play basketball. Did they do that? No.
Hell no.
But you continue to feed and supplement them coming here, and they're bringing all their kin in here so they can all come and step on your necks.
That's
Knees
why
to
I
the
got
neck,
a black nail tech, and I don't fool with no fucking Asian nail techs at all
kneel
whatsoever.
to the neck.
And you would feed their children before you feed your own. And I just don't mean
Indigenous,
food.
indigenous.
Yeah.
Delineate where it matters, where your money goes. So, hey, you want
Segregate
to
your
go get
money.
some. Exactly.
Segregate your money. That's right.
So, Lisa, we coming up to the bottom of the hour. Can you close us out?
Well, I don't know if we're done. We're not done. No, we're not ready to be done. We still haven't gotten. We haven't gotten to the fact of birth of a nation, and the fact that birth of a nation is actually, that was the biggest psyops, and that was the biggest psyops ever, because it was one of the first major motion picture. It was shown for years and years and years across this nation, and it was the catalyst that created most of the burnings, floodings, and destruction and all over this country. Wall Street, the bombings, the floodings of all these different towns, was really the catalyst, was that movie that got the Klan rejuvenated. So we have to understand the power of propaganda. That's the major one. But even before this is this poster right here. It's just a poster. Now, this is a real poster. The other shit that we see, the pictures of Nat Turner, that's bullshit. But this is actually a real, that's what they used back in the day, poster to spread around the country. They showed this shit. They had this shit, taken by train and by daggone, wagon and shit. All these posters all over the place to scare everybody about what these Indians were doing. And the Nat Turner thing isn't real. Well, it was a real Indian war. It was probably the last real Indian war. And do I believe it's real? Hell yeah. I believe that there was a damn last Indian war when they thought they had us all under sight, all under daggone control. There was one last Indian war, and that's why they had to bring on the Trail of Tears and all this separation and define who's Indian and who's not, and make the Native Americans out of daggone some of us and to daggone separate us. They did that. They did that. They did it. That is a real thing. And they did it, and it was that whole thing, that was the catalyst why everybody was like, oh, let's take the Negroes' land. Let's do all this. This was the reasoning behind all of that. Was this whole so-called, oh, the Negro, dangerous Negro, right? Let's get one
More
more.
like these dangerous, broke ass, illegal squatters.
That's the thing. It's all propaganda. It's all about to create the fear. It's all to just to keep this image, these fake images going.
Fair use. This is Emancipation Road for educational purposes. This is Emancipation Road.
If one measures the success of the insurrection or Southampton Rebellion by the number of whites killed, then Nat Turner led the most successful slave rebellion in the United States. The terror of his rebellion did not end with Turner's death, or the deaths of countless innocent slaves and free blacks. Nat Turner was a very religious man. He heard spirits talking to him. When he ran away for a month, he was compelled by the spirit to return, believing his destiny was to free all slaves. His wife and children were sold away. Twice, he asked to be freed and was whipped for his insolence.
So they have all this dramatic story around it, which is all a lot of bunch of fake stuff. They even have him do a whole monologue as if he was talking about all his damn feelings and shit while they were trying to kill him. But this is the reality is this whole thing was propaganda. Okay, there was an Indian war. I believe that. I believe that the name Nat Turner is a prominent name. But I don't. But all this drama that they put around this propaganda around it. That's a bunch of bullshit. Okay. The reality is they want you to the fear that this guy was religious is very, very striking to white people because the fact that he was religious makes him scarier to white folks. You see. If he was just a wild Indian savage or whatever that wasn't a Christian, then that would be that's one thing. But the fact that he was deeply Christian, that makes him even more sinister because he drank the Kool-Aid and still wanted to kill your ass. That's frightening. They talk about the God told him to kill the babies and the white folks. That is terrifying. So that's how powerful all the propaganda they put around this daggone story was. They had people lit. And most of the loss of the land of my people in Northampton County is all because of, they use this propaganda against, to rally, to rev up people to steal the land. They couldn't take the land. We didn't sell the land. They could harass us off the land. They could terrorize us off the land, but they stole the land. How do you steal the land after you done terrorize people into daggone giving up what's theirs, or you daggone steal? You terrorize them. Nobody sold nothing. And Indian land, you can't daggone sell it. That's what they don't tell you. Is there's laws on the books from the 1700s in which you cannot sell or lease Indian land in Virginia. So this is the thing. They've been using propaganda forever. Since this little poster, right? Since this little poster all the way to today with our daggone tired old, bad-footed, bad-backed, so-called smoke bomber in the subway. They've been using propaganda. The same tired propaganda is being used on us over and over again. When are we going to wake up to the fact of what it is? Why are we scared to call a lie a lie? It's a lie. I don't believe it. That makes no sense. That seems fake as hell. What are you doing? Why are you putting this on the news? This doesn't look at all. It makes no sense. This man is tired. He's old. He don't have the energy to even pack the damn duffel bag, let alone carry it through a turnstile. I don't believe he could make it through a turnstile with all the stuff you said he had on. Ain't no way. And then the man had on fluorescent colors and a daggone fluorescent hat and all this other extra stuff. Your story's too convoluted, people. It don't make sense. We don't do things in Technicolor with all those extra side effects. That's not an indigenous person. I don't know what he is. I don't know what this story is, but I can tell you what it's not. And what it is not is real. It is not real. That's what I can tell you for a fact. And that's what we all need to be saying loud and proud. When it ain't real, we need to call it what it is. That's how you stop the damn mysticism and this fakeness that they're doing. When they realize the shit don't work, they just need to leave. Because all their same tricks they've been using for hundreds of years. They got no other tricks. Once we just demystify them, they got no recourse but to retreat. That's all I got to say. Anybody
Go
else?
back to that other picture. Let me see. With the weak knee man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the look at that. That's the same dude. I'm kidding. It's not. That's a white dude. But still, same style.
It's all the same. I mean, they just use these people to play these games with us, you know what I mean? And hey, it is what it is.
So remember, these are the tactics used in their menticide, propaganda. I mean, by now, everything that they have told you, World Trade Center, blah, blah, everything has been a lie. Yeah, we still go back for more. I mean, are we that whack? No, we ain't. Check out the propaganda that's coming up, what they're doing now, what they're setting up now. Follow it and see what they're doing. It $20, you didn't seen it before. I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight, this evening. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Good night. Thank you. Good night, chat.
Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you.